Have you ever been in a D&D game and someone used something to solve a problem that was completely unexpected? Like something you'd never find in a rule book.
Yeah.
In our last game, we were facing a dragon.
Classic.
Very classic. Really.
Okay.
And we were out of spells, low on health, things were looking really bad. And our cleric had this idea.
Okay.
She grabs this handful of tiny silver bells
Oh.
that we had looted from a goblin horde earlier and tosses them right into the dragon's open maw.
Oh my god.
The sound inside its head was so disorienting that it gave us the opening we needed to escape.
Oh, that's great. That's the kind of thing you remember long after a game is over. And that's exactly what we're diving into today with this article.
Oh, yeah.
D&D's Most Unexpected Item Uses by Kira Mensa on LitRPG Reads.
It's a treasure trove
It is.
of ideas
It is.
for both players and dungeon masters.
Exactly.
You know, one time I was DMing a game
Okay.
and the party was trapped in a collapsing mine. And they were desperate to find a way out. And I was really struggling as a DM to figure out how to give them a chance.
Right.
Without it feeling too contrived.
Yeah.
And then one of the players said, "Hey, don't we have a bag of holding?"
Uh-huh. The classic bag of holding.
And it hit me like a bolt of lightning.
Yeah.
I described how the bag, being extra-dimensional,
Right.
wasn't affected by the collapsing tunnel.
Of course.
They dove in, and I narrate them tumbling through this chaotic vortex of falling rocks and splintered timbers before being spit out safely on the other side.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's such a rush.
That's fantastic. And it really speaks to, I think, one of the core concepts in Mensa's article, that D&D is more than just a game of rules and dice rolls.
Yeah.
It's a platform for collaborative storytelling.
Exactly.
Where the players' imaginations are just as important as the dungeon master's world building.
And speaking of imagination,
Yes.
Mensa has this awesome table in her article
Okay.
called Unconventional Items. And she lists all of these everyday objects that can be repurposed for unexpected and often hilarious results. We're talking rope, caltrops, a bag of holding,
Right.
things you wouldn't normally think of as tools for adventure.
Yeah, it's a great way to get those creative juices flowing.
Absolutely.
Because when you look at those items through a D&D lens,
Right.
suddenly the possibilities become endless. A simple rope isn't just for climbing. It could be used to trip an enemy, create a makeshift trap, or even swing across a chasm.
Yeah.
And a bag of holding, well, as you just demonstrated, its uses go far beyond just carrying loot.
Absolutely.
And that's where things get really interesting. Mensa talks about how this kind of creative item use adds a whole new layer to combat.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about hitting things with your sword
Right.
or blasting them with spells.
Right.
It's about thinking on your feet, using your environment and your enemy's expectations against them.
Like using a flask of oil to create a slippery surface.
Exactly.
To make your opponents go sprawling. Or using a bag of flour to create a blinding cloud so you have the advantage.
Oh, yeah.
It's like in those old kung fu movies where they use anything and everything as a weapon.
I love it.
And it's not just limited to like mundane items.
Right.
Mensa also talks about magic items and how players have used them
Okay.
for effects beyond their intended purpose.
Right.
Like using a decanter of endless water
Oh, wow.
to flood a dungeon chamber and flesh out some goblins.
That's great. And for anyone who doesn't know, a decanter of endless water.
Yeah.
It's a magic item in D&D
Right.
that produces a limitless supply of water.
And I remember reading about someone using a broom of flying
Okay.
to sweep an enemy off their feet in an aerial battle.
Oh my goodness.
Hilarious and brilliant.
It really is. And it's those moments of unexpected brilliance that make D&D so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's something that both players and dungeon masters can contribute to.
Right.
The DM sets the stage,
Yeah.
but it's the players who bring it to life with their creativity.
And Mensa also talks about how combining mundane and magical items
Yes.
can lead to some truly wild results.
Absolutely.
She calls them combo creations.
I love that.
And honestly, some of these combinations are just genius.
Yeah.
Like imagine setting a trap by rigging a tripwire to a bag of holding full of caltrops,
Oh my goodness.
or using a potion of growth on a spider
Ooh.
to make a giant spider mount.
For our listeners who may not be familiar,
Right.
caltrops are those nasty spiked metal things
Right.
that injure pursuers.
Yeah.
And a potion of growth does exactly what you think it does.
Makes things grow.
It makes things grow.
And what I love is this creative approach to item use.
Yeah.
It isn't just about combat.
Right.
It can really enhance role-playing and problem-solving. Mensa gives a great example of a player who used a bedroll as a makeshift parachute to escape from a burning building.
That's awesome.
It had nothing to do with fighting,
Right?
but it was a creative solution to a life or death situation.
Yeah. Exactly. It's about using your resources to their fullest potential,
Yeah.
no matter the situation.
Right.
Remember, a successful D&D campaign isn't just about slaying dragons and looting treasure.
Right.
It's about immersing yourself in a world full of possibilities and finding creative solutions.
And Mensa dedicates a section
Yes.
of her article
Yeah.
to these iconic player moments of ridiculous creativity.
I love that.
These are stories from actual games
Okay.
where players have pulled off something so ingenious and so unexpected it becomes legendary.
I love it.
The one that stood out to me
Okay.
was a player who used a rope and a well-timed shove
Oh, wow.
to collapse an entire castle wall during a siege.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk about thinking outside the box.
And it's those stories that demonstrate the true spirit of D&D.
Right.
The collaborative storytelling,
Yeah.
the shared moments of laughter and surprise,
Yeah.
and the sheer joy of pulling off something truly epic with nothing but your wits and a handful of seemingly ordinary items.
And it's all thanks to sites like LitRPG Reads.
Exactly.
Paul Bello, who champions this creative thinking
He does.
and provides a platform.
Yeah, LitRPG Reads is fantastic.
It's a great resource
It is.
for anyone looking to delve deeper into the world of D&D.
Absolutely.
So for all of you listeners out there, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Have you ever pulled off an epic item use in your own games?
Head down to the comments section and share your tales of ingenuity. We'll be reading them.
We've talked a lot about those aha moments,
Right.
those times when you find a brilliant solution using something unexpected.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, has anyone ever encountered a situation where an item backfired spectacularly?
Interesting. That's a good question. Because while creative item use can lead to some truly unforgettable moments of triumph,
Right.
it can also backfire
Yeah.
in hilarious and sometimes disastrous ways.
I can just imagine
Yeah.
those misfires,
Uh-huh.
the miscalculations,
Right.
the times when that brilliant idea just turns into a total disaster.
Yeah. That's part of the fun of D&D, right? You
Yeah.
never know how things are going to play out.
That's true. And sometimes those outcomes,
Yeah.
even the ones that seem like failures,
Right.
can lead to the most memorable stories.
Exactly. They really can. I think it's a good reminder
Yeah.
that in D&D, like in life,
Right.
not every plan goes perfectly.
Right.
And it's those unexpected outcomes that create those moments of laughter
Yeah.
and camaraderie that make D&D so special.
It's all part of the adventure.
It is.
It is.
It's a testament to that core idea we've been talking about.
Yeah.
That D&D is more than just a game.
Exactly.
It's a platform for collaborative storytelling,
Right.
where the players' imaginations and the dungeon master's world building come together to create something truly unique and unpredictable.
And Mensa's article,
Yeah.
with its focus on unconventional item use,
Right.
really highlights that aspect of the game.
It does.
It encourages us to think beyond the obvious, to see the potential in the mundane, and to embrace the possibility of success and failure,
Yes.
knowing that either way, it's going to be an unforgettable experience.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into creative item use in D&D, I think the takeaway is clear.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
That's right.
Don't be afraid to try something new, even if it seems a little crazy.
Yeah.
You never know what brilliant or hilariously disastrous results you might achieve.
Embrace the unexpected, push the boundaries of what's possible, and most importantly, have fun.
Because at the end of the day, that's what D&D is all about.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of unconventional item use.
Yes, thank you.
We hope it sparked some ideas
Yeah.
and inspired you to unleash your inner creative genius at your next game.
And remember, the next time you're staring at your inventory, don't just see a list of objects.
Right.
See a world of possibilities waiting to be unlocked.
Who knows? You might just create the next legendary D&D story.
You might.